Hello everybody, it's me, Nate, aka Double Dog, and I'm back with a new game review. This time I'm reviewing the just released Injustice 2. It was developed by Netherrealm Studios and published by Warner Brothers Interactive, and just released on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on May 16th of 2017. It is a direct sequel to 2013's fantastic blockbuster game Gods Among Us, and the overall story continues along with the same multiverse aspect of the first game. This time the main villain is Brainiac, but it takes place in an alternate dystopian universe. That way they can tell an all-new story, but it still fits in with canon. The gameplay is very similar to the first game, but with several subtle tweaks, but by far the best addition, hands down, is the new gear system. It is a role-playing game like gear system that gives each character specific costume and equipment drops, along with experience as you go through the game, and some of them will have status-altering effects and even power modifiers. It is by far fantastic. Now, you figure also each fighter has their four different main base stats that you use your experience to level up with. They are your strength, defense, health, and your ability. Now, keep in mind, if you dump your experience in certain things, it will change your overall character. If you dump it in strength, naturally you'll be stronger. If you dump it in ability points, that actually changes your special attacks, will make them more powerful and stuff like that. Now, as you level up and you gain experience, you can also use these gear drops to increase your stats and customize your character's looks with these things called sliders. And each character that you play as has 5 different areas that they can hold gear. You know, their heads, their arms, their legs, and their chest. Now, you also get a big bonus if you actually are able to find and equip all 5 pieces of a set. Now, this game also uses in-game currency that you collect as well, to where you can also buy loot box drops as well. They're called mother boxes, and they come in different forms, shapes, and different rarities of the amount of items that are dropped in them. Now, one thing that I do have to say, which I have never been a big fan of, but it does return in this game, is our ever so lovely friend, the microtransactions. In this game, they're called source crystals, and you use real money to buy in-game currency and items. Now, so far, fortunately, they are only for cosmetic only purposes, where you can get new skins and shaders for your character. You can get them by just playing the game and unlocking them through normal progression, but this is pretty much a fast pass aspect, and fortunately, at least so far, it doesn't affect the actual overall playability of the game. It doesn't make where other people are like play to win. Thank God, so far. Now, another big addition in this game, which is fantastic, is the inclusion of what they call the Multiverse mode, which is very similar to the Living Towers from the last Mortal Kombat game. And if you ever played that, you'll understand. You get to go through and do different moves, different abilities that are changed based on what is required for each level. It's pretty much the equivalent of the Living Towers from the last Mortal Kombat, where you'll go to different worlds in this and do different things, like, okay, you have to beat this guy without using your jump. This time you may have half your life, and it is a really nice addition to this game. It was great in Mortal Kombat, and I'm really glad they brought it over to this as well. Now, another neat little thing about this game also is when you play online, it does have multiple different modes of online play, but for balanced gameplay, you do have the option of disabling the gear system when you're online. That way, if you're playing and you want to make it an evil playing field with everybody, you can choose to disable the gear system, so you won't have one guy just pretty much one-shotting you because he happens to have the best gear in the damn game. Trust me, if they didn't have that feature, it's going to happen, and you know it will not be fun at all. Now, it also has something called Join a Guild. Once you reach level 5 or higher, you're allowed to join a guild, which is up to 50 different players, and it allows you to set up tournaments, play with your friends. There's also specific things you can do as well for bonus points, experience boost stats, and stuff like that. It's pretty damn cool as well. And it does also have premier skins, which I'm not going to go into detail on how you actually get them, but they will change current characters into other DC characters and change their dialogue and voices and everything. It's pretty damn cool. Now, once again, since this is a Netherrealm Studio game, it does have a season pass with it, because they have a plan for a huge amount of of DLC in the lifetime of this title. It'll cost you $40 for the season pass, and I've never been a fan of season passes. I personally believe if you're able to be patient and just wait until they have, quote, a Game of the Year version where they have everything included at a discounted price, I would recommend that. But if you're somebody who just can't wait and you want to have the DLC characters as soon as they're released, go ahead and get the season pass. It is $65 for the game, plus an additional $40 for the DLC characters. And currently, right now, they plan on having 8 more DLC characters added. Now, the first batch of the DLC characters are going to be Red Hood, Starfire, and Sub-Zero. Now, if you're able to pick up the Ultimate Edition of this game, those 3 DLC characters come on it already. Another little thing that I always thought was kind of stupid is this old pre-order thing with games, that you get certain perks with pre-ordering a game that you can't get any other way. Like if you pre-ordered this game and got the pre-order of the Ultimate Edition, you got 3 other DLC characters along with it. You got Jon Stewart's Green Lantern, Power Girl, and Reverse Flash. And I'm sure there'll be other ways to get those characters, but all in all, I thought, I've never been a big fan of that. Just like the last Mortal Kombat game, they did that shit with Goro, and I think that's kind of a cheap, cash grabby ass way to force people to buy certain versions of the game. I do not see why you can't just make a game with all the modes in it. It's really kind of sad. Now, the overall, it does have like the story mode, which comes back, and it's way better than the first time around. It takes a while before you actually can figure out what the hell is really going on, who is on which side, and so forth like that. But all in all, it's a much well-balanced, better written story this time around. A lot funner, a lot better story all around. It's very well written, and each character as you play through, I almost forgot to say this, each character that you have actually has a special class. One will be Might, Meta, Tech, or Agility, or Magic. Now, based on what class your character you choose to play as, they will have certain strengths and weaknesses against other classes. Like an example is, if you play as a Tech character, they're strong against Might characters, but weak against Meta characters. So it really makes it where you have to really think when you play as your characters overall of just dealing with that sort of thing. Now, it has a lot of other neat little features with it, including like daily objectives and challenges and achievements that you can do for a special experience and exclusive rewards. It has operations and resource missions that you can actually send your characters out to actually get items and experience as well. That kind of reminds me of some of the retainer missions on Final Fantasy Online. And it's actually a nice little addition, and it does take real world time. So if it literally says it'll take 24 to 48 hours, it's going to take that long before that particular character will come back and bring any sort of items with you. But don't worry, if you still want to play as them, you still can. Overall, right now, there are 27 characters that are playable on the game, with other ones that will be added, of course, with 12 different levels, and the levels are multi-staged, just like the last game. It does have different abilities of smashing your character through the levels. It does have all the badass super move features, the grab moves, and all the stuff from the first game. So if you're actually affiliated with knowing how to play the first game, you should have no problem in picking up and playing this game. Hands-on, bar none, this is a way bigger and better and badder game than the first one. The graphics are better, and hell, even if you have a PlayStation 4 Pro, you can even have a Pro mode on here to make it a little bit faster on frames per second and a much higher resolution. It's all in all a really well-built game. It is a decent sequel, and I'm happy they actually went this route with this game. It has a lot of vast improvements in it. It's got a lot of tweaks to it, even though I do think Batman's a little OP. Nonetheless, it's still a fantastic game. So if you are a fan of the first game and you love fighting games, get your ass off of your couch or wherever you are and go out and pick this one up. This is a fantastic game to add to your collection. It is definitely worth the money, and I can highly recommend it. Now, as for picking it up with the season pass, that is up to your own prerogative. I personally feel the season passes are not a good, real smart thing to do. That I personally think you should just actually wait until they have a specialized version of the game. So all in all, I've got to say, this is a badass game, and I'm loving every minute of it. This was Nate, aka Devil Dog. I want to thank everyone who subscribes to my channel. I want to thank everybody who watches this video. Please leave a comment below if you think this game is worth a fuck, or if you think it sucks, or if you think it's fantastic. And I always got to end my videos by saying, have fun, play hard, and remember, people, the devil is in the details. Peace.